This podcast was brought to you by Beyond Health. And welcome to our podcast. Today we have with us Miss Tatiana.
Hello, everyone.
And Mr. Darius.
Hello, everyone.
And we're going to talk about mental health in the youth. I'm a mom. I'm raising teenage boys. And it's important that we recognize the mental health in our children. I know both of you work with children, have children. So let's get to chatting. So how you feel about what's going on? What's going on with the mental health as far as from your professional perspective? What do you feel is behind the behaviors that some of our children are dealing with?
A lot. I think one of the main things is just children. One, I think we talked about this earlier today, not being heard. I think it is children not being able to really open up sometimes and express what they're going through. I know a lot of children are afraid to be judged if they just simply open up and see how they feeling, or if they go against maybe what their parent is saying, or they don't really want to express certain stuff about school because they feel like they don't really have a voice. So I think a lot of that just has a lot of it has a lot to do with them not being heard and just dealing with a lot of unspoken things at home and growing up. It's a lot.
Yeah. It's definitely a lot. It's important that we just allow our children to have that safe space and be able to open up and have someone to talk to. That's why PRP and having counselors and therapy is so important for our kids, because they need that, and everyone's parenting style is different. Not everyone knows how to allow their children to have that space at home. And so that's why we have counselors and, people like you who work with our children hand in hand and, and open that door for them to be able to do that and have that space.
Yes, for sure. So I'm going to piggyback a little bit on what Tatiana said. Majority of the kids, they just really don't feel comfortable expressing themselves, right?
Yeah.
And as an adult and, older, when you trust someone, you feel more comfortable with being able to express yourself. So stepping in kids' lives, one of the main things I really try to focus on is just, building that trust. Because once I build trust with them, you'd be surprised at things in the way that they will express themselves to you, right? And just working with kids, PRP services, Beyond, I believe we have one of the best teams, and we all know and understand that it takes a village.
Yes.
Right? So the folks that's at the school need to be connected with the folks that at home. And the folks that's doing the extracurricular activities with them, everyone need to be on the same page. Everyone needs to be focused on what it is, the goals that we need to meet to actually help them grow and be better.
Right. What's best for the child.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. I know for me, I try to keep contact and communication with teachers and friends parents, because it does take a village.
Yes.
It's important that we all stay on one accord when it comes to our kids and giving them that attention that they need and allowing them to be able to trust someone. Just having that person and, just having that freedom to just be themselves.
And right now in these times and these days with the social media and everything just being exposed, right? A lot of the kids in the environments that we, which they come up in, they grow up in, they exposed to a lot of different things, right?
So much,
and
yes.
You're not talking to a 12-year-old.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
true. That's
You're not.
true.
So you got to approach it differently, right? You can't have this approach as if things that used to work for us,
right?
When we was growing up,
right.
Things has changed. So being able to adjust, right, and actually just being able to grant them some grace, man, right? Because they kids, they really don't understand, but a lot of them is bottled up and they hold a lot in, and when they get a chance to express themselves, usually they express themselves with anger, and frustration.
Yes.
So it's kind of, and once they get to that part, now we need to give him more attention. He need this, he need that, but we need to be all on the same page with helping, build these kids up, because their mental health matter.
Yeah.
And I think going back to kind of what you said about the whole social media thing, When you say kids are like so bottled up and stuff like that, I feel that. I feel like a lot of it happened just when we experienced COVID and everybody was stuck in the house. So just going back to kids not being able to talk to the people that surround them, we have to really be mindful of what they're doing on their phones and on social media, because a lot of the students that I work with, they have these virtual relationships. And they are really locked in and expressive to these people that are online that they don't even know, that they've never even met. And then some of those people, you don't know who's behind majority of those screens.
That's true.
So I think it's very important to just really watch what your children are doing, but give them that space. And sometimes expressing yourself, it's not always going to be verbal. Absolutely. So when your children are doing different things and stuff like that, and they might want to engage in this activity or these arts, like let them, because they're not always going to verbally express themselves.
I agree with you.
That is true. Yes. We're going to take a minute to just take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some of the behaviors and, where that stems from with our children. So we'll be right back.
Sounds good.
At Beyond Health, we understand that mental wellness is a personal journey and you don't have to walk it alone. Our care team provides therapy, mental health services, recovery treatment, and mentoring for youth, adults, and families, helping you build confidence and life skills in a supportive environment. Ready to take the first step toward a healthier, fuller life? Visit BeyondHealthPRP.com.
Welcome back to Take a Mental Minute. Here with us again, we have Miss Tatiana and Mr. Darius, two of our amazing Beyond Health staff. And when we left off, we were talking about behavior. So we're going to shift the gear a little bit and kind of get into self-esteem and the impact that has on our kids.
Self-esteem plays one of the largest roles in your child's life. It's so important. Even as a parent myself of 5-year-old twins, it's important to build them up now. And I'm talking words of affirmation, allowing them to make certain choices, even at an extremely young age like that. If you want to pick your outfit out today, I'm going to allow you to do that, and I'm going to tell you it looks nice. I think that what that does is it builds the child's confidence as they continue to grow. That way they're able to stand up against everything the world has to offer. We just talked about social media, which I think is really important. We all know that everybody on the net, everybody isn't nice. So at any given moment, your child is exposed to who's ever on the internet, even school. People are mean. And what happens is your child has to be confident enough to stand up against all of those things. And that's why I was saying, like, social media is so important, because what happens is some children, students, as a clinical therapist, a lot of students gravitate towards social media and virtual relationships, and even in school, any kind of, friend groups or places where they want to feel accepted. I believe that if they are confident enough and they have enough self-esteem, that they won't gravitate towards groups that do not align with them. And if they are just able to know their worth, they are able to make a lot more, healthy decisions, and even having a lot of resources in place. Just, I know me. I'm confident. I know who is able to help me. I'm able to use discernment when I'm building relationships in school, outside of school, all of those things. I just think it really starts at home with children in general.
Yes. So piggyback on that, I believe self-esteem is very important as well, of course. But, of course, some kids' situations are different, right? So I think that plays a huge role in how you interact and deal with a child, right? So some kids, like yourself, how you spoke on your 5-year-old and how you implement certain goals and certain things to allow them to be able to build that self-esteem, right? And then you may have a child that come from a background that doesn't have that, right? So for myself, stepping in the role that I play in a lot of young men and young women's lives, right? I try to basically, of course, like I'm gonna say this again, I grant them a lot of grace, right? I allow them to be who they are, right? But I also try to encourage them and also just implement and constantly just reiterate it constantly, like, you are who you are. God created you to be who you are, right?
Yes.
And no matter what's going on around you, be safe and be confident in your own skin, right? And some get it, some don't, right? And they listen. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Mr. Darius. Yeah. But they go on social media, right? And now that's a distraction, right? And now I gotta look like my friend that's cool on social media that's doing this, right? So now my self-esteem is based off of others' actions and the things that they're putting out there on social media.
Yeah.
So it's important, like I say, is a village, right?
Yeah.
So everyone that's involved in that child life has to be all on the same page, right? So we do a great job at Beyond, right? We all stay on, the right page with one another. For example, like yourself, right? A therapist that's, very informative on the things that need to be done and the goals that need to be set for young men and young women, right? So we all have to stay on the same page to encourage them to be confident within themselves and know that they have that support. And some need a little more loving than others, and some don't, right? So just be mindful of how we, pour into them. That's very important. And, you'll see their self-esteem and their trust and their confidence in who they are grow as time go on. But they actually need to see you. You need to hold their hand.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. You need to hold their hand and walk them through. And once they get through, it's a great feeling at the end of the day.
I agree. And I think definitely hold their hand, but one of the major things I feel like is making them feel safe.
Yes, that's it.
And I try to operate,
space.
from like a strengths-based
that's
perspective.
Very important.
Yes.
Because one, you want them to feel safe, but you also want to allow them to identify what they're good at.
Yes.
And like I said, safety and feeling comfortable with you. I have youth that I work with, and sometimes they'll come into my office and I'm like, hey girl, what happened? So that I'm not always looking like that lady that's you want me to just tell you my business, like, oh no, what happened? Tell me what happened, right?
That's creating that trust.
You on your phone and I'm losing your attention. Who you texting? And I make sure I navigate my language with them, because like you say, sometimes you do have to hold their hand
and meet them where they're at.
You gotta meet them where they at, and then they already know. I know I'm gonna be cool with you, but if you need to like check me or put me back in line, I'm like, I do not want her to be serious right now, but you
gotta draw that line.
You
gotta draw that line.
And that's just how I even communicate with the students I work with, because I want them to be comfortable. Because I was once somebody that wasn't heard, and I acted out in school myself. I didn't come from that place of having my hand held all the time. I can think my mom played a good role with building my confidence, so I'm able to even do things like this. But like you said, everybody is not. And everybody is not going to be able to have a conversation with you like we're doing. So when it comes from my perspective as a therapist, your perspective as a counselor, we can work together to just identify, okay, what is this child good at? Because it might not be a conversation. So what we might have to do is a hands-on activity.
Absolutely.
Draw it. Let's do this vision board. But instead of me asking you what your goals are, write them down for me. I had that work for me this past school year when we were heading out. I had a client that did not talk all year long. I was pulling, tugging, I pulled all the tricks out the bag for this client, and he just refused to open up and talk.
Yeah.
And when I brought out that piece of paper and said, like, write your goals down for me, he filled it up more than anybody that I have really, really amazing conversations with. And I was like, wow, okay, so sometimes you have to really just change gears. And that was an eye-opener for me, because I can talk to you. I'm going to get you to talk. And I'm like, wow. So definitely just allowing them to express themselves in the various ways and communicating. Whereas, okay, I know that this is his goal, and then I can reach out to his counselor like, look, hey, he said that he want to do something with basketball. He ain't tell me that, but maybe we can meet for a session at the court or something like that, or engage your conversation in that, so he can open up.
And it's that the importance of what you said is like that individualized treatment, because every kid is not the same. And although they may have the same behaviors or the same, reactions, they're not the same. You can't, it's not cookie cutter, because they are their own person. And I think sometimes in a lot of environments, people forget that. They treat kids like, how we may have grown up or have heard in our past, like, you do as I say, you do as I say, not as I do, and things like that. Just that language and those things that kids are so used to hearing. And they think that, people forget that kids are people, and they deserve respect. You know what I'm saying? And they deserve patience, and for someone to, just hear them and see them, because not every kid is the same, and not every kid, he might be acting out because of what he's dealing with at home, and he might be acting out because what he's dealing with at school.
Yes.
So the individualized treatment is so important for them, because it's needed.
Yes.
And it just identifies them, and it also helps them to just feel valued as well. Like you said, he didn't talk, so you individualized his treatment just for him and what he needed at that time, so that he could communicate.
And I agree with that. I believe that a lot of adults, right? I don't have kids of my own, right? But I work with a lot. We have to adjust to what's going on now, right? The old tactics, the old things that used to work with us, that's not working now, right? The exposure is on another level, right? When, of course, we're always going to piggyback on social media, but it's the truth. That's what's technology in the world, and that's the direction we're going in, right? So when dealing with these kids, we have to adjust to how to discipline them, but also break them down, but build them back up, right? And the new way of things, right? And just like I say, it's a village, right? It takes all of us. It's a collective thing, and I just think that also it takes a little vulnerability on your end as well, right? To show them that you actually really care, and I can honestly say I done got some of my best work out of some of the kids when I'm vulnerable and I'm open and I'm true, right? With what really matters and the direction, right? I want to kind of push them towards, and when they fall short, I let them know it's okay. We let us see another day, right? Because hey, I was doing so good, Mr. Gilmore. I was doing this, right? Oh, but I messed up. I had a bad day in school. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Like,
and I think a lot of that is also, not to cut you off, but I think a lot of that is also related to their traumas and the things that they deal with. And so when we come back, I do want us to touch on that, because that's very important for us to understand, the traumas they go through.
Yes.
And so we'll be right back with Take a Mental Minute Beyond Health podcast.
Sounds good.
All right.
Beyond Health is an accepting place for healing and discovery for those navigating life's challenges.
And we also specialize in the LGBTQ community when it comes to mental health, substance abuse, and also PRP services.
Beat the expectations and fulfill your dreams together.
They were right there. They walked me through the whole process.
Beyond Health is here for those that feel marginalized.
I would say do not wait. Like, don't hesitate. Call now.
Beyond Health, PRP.com.
Welcome back to Take a Mental Minute. And here with us, we have two new guests, Miss London and Mr. Quentin. And London is one of the kids that has benefited from some of the services at Beyond Health. And I know for you, you are a recent grad.
Yes.
And so I wanted to talk to you just about like how that transition has been, and how, the community and the services has helped you, and people such as Mr. Quentin, who does amazing work with our youth day in and day out. So how has that transition been for you?
Not gonna lie, it has been a little rocky, only because I would say career path that I've chosen, it's architecture, but it's more so the high school that I'm coming from, because it's college prep. So I'm going from charter school to being public school to talking as much to having certain type of meetings with people. So it's a new thing, but definitely working with Beyond Health has helped me a lot, like with communication skills. So like talking to Mr. Q and like getting his perspective on like what should I do, how fast should I pace myself. It's more so been an in and out thing.
Okay, that's good. And what you think? How you feel about?
So like dealing with a lot of kids, especially going through that phase of graduating and trying to figure out life, what I'm gonna do next. London was like knowing her, meeting her, was like, it gave me that like spark in the eye, like, oh, I'm gotta help her, right? Because she knows what she wanted to do.
Right.
A lot of kids you talk to them to graduate, like, I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah.
Or my mother said I gotta go to college or something like that. But London was like, no, I want to do architect. Like, I want to go to Micah. Like, I like helping kids. Like, and even her examples of how she helps kids and things like that, she puts a part of herself into the kids. So it's like she got it. She rocking and rolling. So it's just like it makes me happy to see a child that's looking for the future and know what they want. So I'm trying to get behind that child like 10 toes down, like help them.
and you work with younger kids, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm sure like that's important to you because you see them rising and, you know, growing into themselves. And so in what ways do you think that like your work that you do can help and motivate some kids to kind of, when they get to the space that London is in, you know, be prepared for that timing in life?
Oh, I think like working with young kids, the biggest thing that everybody should do with young kids is give them experiences, right? Because how would they ever know that they can do anything past their neighborhood,
Right?
If without them seeing it, without them knowing it, without them being able to touch it, hearing from somebody that does different things that open their mind up.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, when London was like architect, I'm like, oh,
yeah. So what made you choose architecture? Like that's not something that you hear, you know, a lot of kids want to get into.
So growing up, like Mr. Q just said, in my neighborhood, I was the autistic child.
Okay.
So not the fact that I have a disability, I always was the drawer. I painted everything. Like I was planting, I did a little bit of dancing, singing in church. So it was more so I was the versatile kid.
Okay.
So growing up, I always like line work because to that, it shows the guidance of life and like, okay, well, I drew this line. Okay, that shows that I need to take this path. Okay, but this line, I have to erase it a little bit. Maybe I do need to take a left path. So it's been a little, I would say, but architecture is something that I'm comfortable with because it puts me hand-on with a lot of working. Like Mr. Q said, with kids, building that's included with different communities, different aspects of, okay, let's put our minds to work and let's see what we can make. So that's why I'm branching more into architecture.
That's great.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See how that just make you feel like, yeah, I'm
She just
rocking.
made that
I'm
make
rocking.
sense.
Yeah,
You made that make a lot of sense, and it's coming from your upbringing as well, and that's what I was saying to you. Like, you know, how does that upbringing impact kids? You know, just even from being in a certain community and our, you know, children who look like us, you know, just that things that we don't see a lot of people do. You know what I'm saying? So taking your experiences and putting that into where you want, the direction that you want to go in life. That's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, like with kids, you got to always throw them different experiences.
Right.
Like in my position at the school, I have a kid in, and they like, what you got? What you got over there? What you eating on? What you snacking on?
Yeah.
And I'm like, be introducing kid to trail mix. What's that? I don't want that.
Right.
And they, hey, Mr. Williams, you got some more of that trail mix?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like kids, they're young, they have no clue about, you know, things that they weren't introduced to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
kids
simple.
definitely like that painting time. I've realized that a lot.
That's true. That's true. So, like are you seeing, you know, working with the kids now? Are you seeing some of the kids, like I know it's all different types of kids that you see. Are you seeing some of the kids and you like, I see a little bit of me in that kid?
I was just telling Miss Sierra and Mr. Q, like, or Mr. Quentin, like I miss my kids because I'm used to them circling around me. I'm used to. Oh, Miss London, they call me Crocs. And I'm like, you don't got Crocs on today? I'm like, no, I have sneakers on. Like, it was raining. I don't want my feet to get wet. Oh, I like your Crocs. You should bring them tomorrow. They're very colorful. You like colors.
Right.
I like colors.
Okay,
so we can build a bond. And we, like I said, painting every day. I'm not going to lie. It's a painting session. It gets messy, but it allows the kids to, okay, let me feel the paint. What do I want to draw for my mom today? And I just let them do them.
Just to openly express themselves.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that one of the other things is like you being a younger person working with the kids and you being, you know, not old, but you know, working with the kids, a little seasoned, yes, working with the kids. Do you guys, like, I feel like kids probably think that like adults don't really understand them. Like, and I know, like I said, you're younger, so like working alongside adults and like, you know, growing up, did you feel like, I know, not did you feel like, but like, do you feel like the adults understood you when you were coming up?
Honestly, no. And I'm only going to say that because I am a person in the LGBTQ plus community. So a lot of different words were said to me, a lot of different aspects because of like my hair and because I chose to be different. It wasn't always respected by adults, of course, because you have the Christian community, you have the blue collars, you have a lot of different people that feel like just because they have a higher ranking, then that means they have more control over what you do.
Yeah.
So I did have the opportunity to like experience therapy with a lot of different people through school. They've allowed me to branch off into different topics, learning more about music, learning more about dancing, as I said. I'm also a band kid. So I've did a little here and then across life, but I'm not going to say it's been a walk in the park because I had to adjust to making them comfortable with my appearance or my words and my attitude, basically, because being younger, like we said earlier, a lot of generationals and a lot of different cultures expect so much, and so many stereotypes are said now in the U.S. Well, you're supposed to do this, and this is a sin. No, God loves us all, and I feel like if you're doing you, I shouldn't judge that because He's not judging you.
Okay, I agree. I like that. That was
Yeah,
important.
like a lot of times, like with youth, as adults, sometimes you just gotta be a sounding board.
Yes.
Right? Like, you can tell me the things that you don't like about yourself. Tell me the things you do like about yourself.
Yeah.
Tell me the things that you might not feel comfortable saying to your parents because they don't want to judge you.
That's the things I was wanting. Like, when I first met Mr. Williams, because that's how I met him. I didn't meet him as nothing else.
Okay.
So he just, y'all, look, I don't like dirt. Y'all cool. Just take care of them. Do y'all. Just don't let me see dirt. Ever since then, I have not let this man see a lick of dirt in this classroom because I'm like, okay, me and him bonded over that. Okay, every morning it's a good morning. How are you doing? He don't say too much. He may play his game, but it's still the respect level of, okay, well, I got a job to do. You have a job to do. We're going to get this done until we leave.
Yes, that's something we talked about earlier. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. Like, just the respect level. It's important for children. And I'm a mom, so I try to maintain that in my household too. Like, just having that respect level for my kids, you know, and hearing, you know, seeing how they feel and being mindful of the things I say and the way I deliver things to them.
Yeah, for sure. Because if you don't become that sounding board, if you're not somebody that they don't feel like they can talk to, they're gonna have a whole world going on that you ain't gonna know nothing about.
You would never know. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, and as a person, I have a lot of siblings on my dad's side, but I don't deal with my dad, so it's more so of the black sheep, and it's like they know me, but you don't know me. So I'm trying to be the big sister, be the aunt, and it's a lot on me simply because I never had the opportunity to, I seen y'all born. I've been there upbringing. I haven't done that. So y'all experiences may be different or y'all may be learning different. Yeah. So I have to be open up. I have to open up and be welcomed to their life because I can't judge them. That's what they know.
Right.
This is what I know. So all I can do is listen, be sound mind, and respect them.
And that makes perfect sense. It's all about individuality, which is something that we touched on earlier as well with Tatiana and Mr. Darius. Just meeting people where they are and respecting, you know, who they are and where they are. That's all we have for now. Until next time, I want to thank all our guests for joining us. It's been an amazing conversation. I hope you all take this time during the summer to prepare your mental health for the upcoming school year. And be sure to look out for our upcoming episodes and catch us at beyondhealthprp.com for more information.